Good evening. We just finished our regular council meeting. It's about 8:30 on October 4th. It was a lighter agenda tonight, which is good because we've had some significant ones thus far. It did kick off with two presentations. We had Kristen Elton, who is the director of the New Brunswick Invasive Species Council. She actually, it was a very interesting presentation, taught us about a number of plants, but also some insects that are invasive to not just New Brunswick, but St. Andrews as well. No surprise that red ants were on the list, but we're going to take that back to our environmental committee and come up with some action plans. To minimize the spread, but also to make sure that we're containing it and not spreading around the rest of New Brunswick. And then we had a presentation. Carla Kearney, a resident, was joined by Tony Cook, who basically it was called Suicide Prevention Awareness, but what it was about is putting some helpline banners in our community that could go on telephone poles. So both presentations very well received. And let's just say that council is very aware of the mental health issues, not just in St. Andrews, but in Greater New Brunswick and Canada, and anything that we can do to help increase awareness, to make people know that there's option out there. It's a good thing to do. We approved our minutes as always, but as far as motions, we approved the lease with the Heather Curling Club for the 2021-2022 season. So this was discussions that were a couple weeks old. So hopefully with the new restrictions by the province of New Brunswick that they can continue to offer curling in our community. I am very optimistic as it looks like the lease is workable on both sides. As well, we adjusted our 5-year plan on our gas tax fund. The only real change there is that we allowed it to put in-ground infrastructure around water and wastewater, and that's important as we go through the budget time. It's easy to see that our utility fund, unfortunately, is not on a good course. If we keep doing things the way we are now, I think that the debt is going to be quite significant, and our debt servicing ratio in the utility fund will be out of whack. So to give some flexibility on the gas tax to help offset that, I think that that's just makes sense for our community. The next one was under Public Works. It was bylaw 2105, which is about basically a bylaw respecting the stopping up and permanent closure of the end of Victoria Terrace Street. It went to second reading. I won't comment specifically on that as I do declare a conflict of interest on that, but it did go to second reading. The next one was a COVID-19 policy for the town of St. Andrews. So that got approved. That was updating with all the changes in government regulations, in particular around double vaccination, masks. So we had to bring that policy updated. And then there was actually a second one as well, which is an employee policy. And that was updated as well this particular meeting. And then the last motion was just the planning and economic development. So it was about a bylaw. It's 21-04. It's respecting encroachment upon public spaces in the town of St. Andrews. It went to second reading. So you can get that information on the town of St. Andrews webpage, but you can also stop by town hall and request that as well. There will be a hearing of objections on October 25th. 2021 at 6:30 on Zoom. But that's just about the use of town land. When you think of things like patios, signs, it's when somebody is going onto town property to make sure that every single business and resident is treated equally in this town. It is a 7-page bylaw, so by all means, feel free to grab that and take a look. And that is the very quick summary. It was about an hour-and-a-half meeting, the shortest that we've had thus far. But thanks for tuning in, and have yourself a wonderful start to October.